Number 10, Kendall Jenner. Now, there have been rumors about the Kardashian crew getting cosmetic surgery since the moment that they first appeared on screen. Each and every member of this family has been accused of having either a nose job or cheek fillers, but Kendall has one noticeable difference that stands out from the rest of her family. In side-by-sides, Kendall's eyes are actually larger than they once were, as well as more almond-shaped. Several doctors have chimed in online and claimed that there's no way she could achieve this look just by using makeup, unless, there's some special magical substance that yanks your face back, which probably exists, but it's suspicious, which is basically what a ponytail facelift is, so it's really the only real explanation. Number 9, Selena Gomez. The former Wizards of Waverly Place star has been dodging surgery rumors left and right for a very long time. Fans have noticed her face changing over the years. Side-by-sides from her Disney days till now show drastic changes in her facial features. Not only does she clearly have some kind of cheek fillers, but her eyes are a lot more cat-like than the original form. Selena has admitted to using skincare products in the past, designated to enhance features without the need of invasive surgeries. However, no foundation on this earth can give Selena the features that she currently has. It comes as no surprise to learn that Selena is actually a spokesperson for several beauty and cosmetic brands and has adamantly denied that she has received any major surgeries over the years. She's been shutting down rumors left and right for a very long time, even deleting photos from her Instagram because they received such massive slews of negative comments. Now, while it's never been confirmed if she's actually received any kind of work, just watching her on screen is enough to prove that the young Alex Russo that a lot of people grew up with has vanished into thin air. Number 8, Bella Hadid. Bella is actually one of the main reasons that this surgery is becoming so popular. When you compare photos of Bella 10 years ago to the ones that are taken this year, it is night and day. Not only have her cheeks noticeably shrunken and become more toned, but her eyes are a lot more almond-shaped, and Bella was one of the first people to openly admit to receiving this treatment as a way to further enhance her already obvious beauty. Bella has been drenched in plastic surgery rumors for a long time, and in 2018 she clapped back at her so-called haters, telling them that she was horrified of what plastic surgery could do to her face. While this ponytail surgery is not the most extreme surgery there is, it's still an invasive one, and it's one of the more sensitive areas of your face to take care of, but that's okay as long as nothing gets, injected into your eyeballs, right? Everything's fine. Number 7, Nicki Minaj. When it comes to Nicki Minaj and plastic surgery, she only has one response. "What's good, Miley?" No, she denies it. Rumors have been flying around since the moment she first appeared on our screens and stages, and over the years, fans claim to have inside information that Nicki has received cheek implants, both on her face and on her backside, with one of her closest friends turning on her in 2013 and claiming that she was given the 411 on the big old buns, but as with many things involved with her looks, Nicki denies any enhancements of any kind. However, it doesn't take a super sleuth to realize that she has totally received some kind of work, right? Whether it's plastic surgery or not, she just looks different. Side-by-sides show that Nicki didn't have these naturally almond eyes like she has now when she first appeared on our screens. She may have never confirmed the surgery with her lips, but most certainly did with her face, because it looks different. Number 6, Ariana Grande. We have accepted that the former Nickelodeon star may have had some subtle procedures such as fillers, maybe some rhinoplasty. The jury's still out on whether she had a nose job, as Ariana has never confirmed this and actually went as far as denying it on Twitter, although she does have a habit of sometimes editing her nose on Instagram, so who knows? But we can't ignore the changes that we've seen this year. The singer has been rumored to have even more cosmetic surgeries towards the end of this year, causing her to look unrecognizable. The redhead that we loved on Victorious and Sam and Cat seems like a totally different person. Ariana's eyes are more almond-shaped, she has dimples in her cheeks when she smiles, and she never used to have. Ariana has never confirmed if she's received surgery or not, but the face that we know and love is hidden behind a new Ariana. Number 5, Kim Basinger. Kim Basinger is a former model whose face has looked suspiciously smooth and wrinkle-free in recent years, leaving many to believe that she has had some kind of work done. A few years ago, a plastic surgeon named Dr. Omar Tillo weighed in on it to express, and he said that he thinks that she's received Botox, cat eye surgery, and dermal fillers. He claims that if you look at previous photos, you can see apparent lines and wrinkles around Kim's eyes, and these could be treated with anti-wrinkle injectables like Botox. She has also clear lines around her mouth area, which could be the result of being smoothed out with dermal fillers. Kim's skin is also much fresher and has more of a complexion. This could be due to several factors like laser treatments. A second expert named Reza Nazab agreed and added added that he believed that she might have also had a fat transfer or a facelift. This could explain the almond-shaped eyes behind the massive cheeks. Back in 2012, Kim's daughter, Ireland Baldwin, insisted that her mother had not received any plastic surgery while calling her the most naturally beautiful woman that there ever was or will be. Ladies, if you want to avoid any Botox, any other skin treatments, just listen to Ireland's mom. She hasn't had one treatment done because she stayed completely out of the sun all those years. She wrote it on an Instagram post. Kim herself has never addressed speculation surrounding her looks. Number 4, Catherine Zeta-Jones. When she attended the premiere of Entrapment in June 1999, she had the beginnings of crow's feet, especially when she smiled, but as the years went by, it seemed like those crow's feet vanished into thin air, and by the time this past year rolled around, she made a return to the mainstream, starring as Morticia Addams in the Netflix series Wednesday. She was a completely different human being, according to fans. Her skin was so smooth and her eyes were smaller than they once were, looking exactly like you would picture a person with fresh cat eye surgery to look like. Catherine was rumored to have received surgery after she was photographed entering a clinic in Beverly Hills, and she never confirmed that she received this specific surgery, but it's impossible to hide the obvious changes in the shape and face conditions. Number 3, Lil' Kim. For the past 25 years, she's been pushing the boundaries as a female rapper and breaking records. Lil' Kim's also considered to have pioneered mainstream love-positive feminism in hip-hop and has carved a path for many contemporary artists like Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and Cash Doll. In addition to her unique sound and lyrical matters, she's known for her breathtaking, flamboyant fashion style and advocacy work for various causes. However, the American rapper served as an unforgettable MTV moment that made heads turn a few years ago. It's tough to deny her natural presence and beauty. After her lip surgery and a series of facial surgeries, she became unrecognizable to fans. Literally, people at her concerts were like, "Hey, who's that?" This speaks volumes, especially in front of the people who adore you the most. It also means that Lil' Kim had too much work done. Staying relevant in the scene can be challenging as more female rappers rise to fame. Unfortunately, Lil' Kim's attempts to fix her perceived natural flaws took her commanding presence and gorgeous looks away. Number 2, Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay got her big break when Disney casted her to play 2 roles in the classic family comedy The Parent Trap. She played twin sisters Hallie Parker and Annie James, who randomly meet at a summer camp and discover their parents split them up when they were babies. The twins then hatch a plot to get mom and dad back together, and it is a great movie. I love it so much. Her career only seemed to rise from there, starring in cult classics like Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis and Mean Girls as, the main character, Cathy Heron. Unfortunately, her character took a step in the wrong direction when she was arrested in 2007 for driving under the influence of a controlled substance, for which she served 84 minutes in jail. Yes, minutes. Some people spend years in jail, but Lindsay got a little warning because she's Lindsay Lohan. Until 2022, her career was at an abrupt standstill, and she decided to take that time to make some cosmetic adjustments. She got some work done to herself, and the little Lindsay that we grew up with is now trapped behind a thin layer of silicone. Number 1, Cardi B. Cardi B has never been coy about the plastic surgery procedures that she's had done. During an Instagram Live in December 2022, she talked about a procedure she had done to her butt years ago, and it gave her followers a word of advice while doing so. Following the birth of her son, Wave, in 2021, Cardi B said that people thought she had work done when in reality she had gotten surgery in August to have 95% of her bipolymer bum injections removed. She went on to say that you should do your research and listen to doctors, and not just with, injections, but also anything involving your rear and all the other plastic surgeries and cosmetic surgeries as well. Like, really, just double check your sources, people. In 2019, the rapper got candid about having to cancel and postpone shows because of the need to recover from liposuction. And on Twitter, she talked about having to miss work for 2 weeks because of it. That same year, Cardi also told Entertainment Tonight that she had a chest lift after giving birth to her daughter, Culture, and was unhappy with needing to take time off. So Cardi's biggest thing is not that the procedures are bad themselves, but with the recovery time that it seems to take. Well, fear no more, Instalift is probably on its way, which is, I don't know, maybe that's a thing. I'm not a scientist. Number 10, Madonna. What is there to say about this woman's career? Madonna has been stuck in our heads since we first heard her hits like Material Girls and Crazy for You. What may have also gotten stuck in your head though was just how gorgeous this woman once was. In the 1980s, Madonna was well known for her stylish duds and big blonde hair, at times channeling some serious Marilyn Monroe energy. It was unfortunate that Madonna felt the need to fall into the world of plastic surgery and injections as she got older. Photo comparisons from the 80s to now showcase the major changes, with her forehead appearing to be pushed out, as well as her cheeks and her lips being filled with enough Botox to give her the appearance of someone wearing a mask of Madonna over their own face. What's more is this combination seems to have molded her eyes into the almond shape of the cat. Fans have always been left wondering what she may have looked like if she never got any surgery. Would she still be a material girl, or would that material be riddled with stain? Number 9. Kendall Jenner. There have been rumors about the Kardashian crew getting cosmetic surgery since the moment that they first appeared on our screens. Each and every member of that family are accused of having either a nose job or cheek fillers, but Kendall has one noticeable difference that stands out from the rest. In side-by-sides, Kendall's eyes are actually a little bit larger than they once were, as well as more almond-shaped. Several doctors have chimed in online and claimed that there is no way she could have achieved this look by simply using cosmetics, unless they have some kind of a magical substance that yanks your face back, but it probably exists, but that's still very suspicious. Number 8. Bella Hadid. Bella is actually one of the main reasons that this surgery has become so popular. When you compare photos of Bella 10 years ago to ones taken this year, it's night and day. Not only have her cheeks noticeably shrunken and become more toned, but her eyes are more almond-shaped and cat-like. Bella was one of the first people to openly admit to receiving the treatment as a way to further enhance her already obvious beauty. Bella has been drenched in plastic surgery rumors for a long time. In 2018, she clapped back at her so-called haters, telling them that she was horrified of what plastic surgery may do to her face. While cat eye is not considered to be plastic surgery, it's still an invasion of one of the most sensitive areas of your face. But I guess that's okay. As long as nothing gets injected into her eyeball, everything's fine. Number 7. Selena Gomez. The former Wizards of Waverly Place star has been dodging surgery rumors left and right for a very long time. Fans have noticed her face changing over the years. The side-by-sides from her Disney days show drastic changes in her facial features. Not only does she clearly have some kind of a cheek filler, but her eyes are much more cat-like than the original form. Selena has admitted to using skincare products in the past designed to enhance features without the need of invasive surgery. However, no foundation on this earth can give Selena the features that she currently possesses. It comes as no surprise that Selena is actually a spokesperson for several beauty and cosmetic brands and has adamantly denied that she has received any kind of major surgeries. She's been shutting down rumors left and right for a very long time, even deleting photos from Instagram because they received such massive slews of negative comments. While it's never been confirmed if she actually received any work, just watching her on screen these days is enough to prove that the young Alex Russo we once knew has vanished into thin air. Number 6. Nicki Minaj. When it comes to Nicki Minaj and plastic surgery, she only has one response. What's good? No, she just denies it. Rumors have been flying around since the moment she first appeared on our screens and stages. Over the years, fans claim to have inside information that Nicki has received cheek implants, both in her face and her backside, with one of her closest friends turning on her in 2013 and claiming that she was given the 411 on the big old buns. But as with many things involving her looks, Nicki denies any enhancements of any kind. However, it doesn't take a super sleuth to realize that she has totally received some kind of work on her face. Side-by-sides show that Nicki did not have naturally shaped almond eyes when she first appeared on our screens. She may have never confirmed the surgery with her lips, but most certainly did with her eyes, because they're not the right shape now. Number 5. Ariana Grande. We have accepted that the former Nickelodeon star may have had some subtle procedures such as fillers or maybe even a rhinoplasty done. The jury's still out on whether or not she's had a nose job, as Ariana has never confirmed this and actually went as far to denying it on Twitter, although she does have a habit of sometimes editing her nose on Instagram, so it's kinda wishy-washy. We can't ignore the changes that we have seen in the past few years. The Santa Tell Me singer has been rumored to have had even more cosmetic procedures towards the end of 2022, causing her to look almost unrecognizable. The redhead that we all loved on Victorious and Sam and Cat seems to be a totally different person now. Ariana's eyes are more almond shaped, and she now has dimples in her cheeks when she smiles that she just never used to have. Ariana has never confirmed if she's received the surgery or not, but the face that we all knew and loved is hidden behind this new Ariana. Number 4. Kim Basinger. The 69-year-old actress and former model's face has looked suspiciously smooth and wrinkle-free in recent years, leaving many to believe that she's had some work done. A few years ago, a plastic surgeon named Dr. Omar Tillo weighed in on it to express his side, and he said that he thinks that she's received Botox, cat eye surgery, and dermal fillers. He claimed that if you look at previous photos, you can see apparent lines and wrinkles around Kim's eyes. These could be treated with anti-wrinkle injectables such as Botox. She also has clear lines around her mouth, which could be the result of being smoothed out with dermal fillers. Kim's skin also seems to be fresher with a more even complexion. This could be due to several factors such as laser treatments. A second expert named Reza Nizab agreed and added that he believed she might have also had a fat transfer or a facelift. This could explain the almond-shaped eyes behind the massive cheeks. Back in 2012, Kim's daughter, Ireland Baldwin, insisted that her mother had not received any plastic surgery while calling her the most naturally beautiful woman there ever was or will be. Ladies, if you want to avoid Botox and any other skin treatment, she said, ladies, if you want to avoid Botox or other skin treatments, listen to my mom. She hasn't had one treatment done because she stayed completely out of the sun all these years. Yeah, she wrote that on Instagram. I don't think that's true. Kim herself has never actually addressed the speculation surrounding her looks, but number 3, Renee Zellweger. When we first met Renee in the cult classic Empire Records, she was a baby face with bangs and brown lipstick, but nowadays she is unrecognizable. After making a name for herself starring as Bridget Jones, she continued to star in several comedies and romantic flicks alongside performers like Jim Carrey, Keanu Reeves, and Tom Cruise. In 2019, she reinvented herself, appearing on the show What If on Netflix. Fans were shocked to see the differences between her 90s glory and her current state. Her eyes were noticeably smaller, her cheeks were more pronounced, and according to several sources, she had received cat eye surgery a few years back to help combat the effects of aging. What it accidentally did was make it so that Renee always looked like she's squinting. While she delivered a solid performance on the show, fans were distracted by the stiff facial features of their main actor. Number 2, Catherine Zeta-Jones. When she attended the premiere of Entrapment in June 1999, she had the beginnings of crow's feet, especially when she smiled, but as the years went by, it seemed like the crow's feet vanished into thin air. By the time this past year rolled around and she made a return to the mainstream starring as Morticia Addams in the Netflix series Wednesday, she was a completely different human being. Her skin was so smooth and her eyes were smaller than they once were, looking exactly like you would picture a person with fresh cat eye surgery to look. Catherine was rumored to have received surgery after she was photographed entering a clinic in Beverly Hills. She's never actually confirmed that she received this specific surgery, but it's pretty impossible to hide the obvious changes in the shape and condition of your face. Number 1, Jocelyn Wildenstein. This New York socialite is no stranger to the world of media. Ever since the mid-1990s, she's been famous around the world for being a literal cat woman, having received so many plastic surgeries that she now resembles a cat. I don't know, she looks more like a lion to me, but lion woman doesn't have as nice of a ring to it. Her journey started with the titular cat eye surgery, but it was just the first in many steps to get that perfect face. According to her friends and family, the surgeries were not intended to give her a Barbie-like face, but rather that of a lynx, which had apparently been her pet for a while. While she wasn't famous for a long time, it was the photos that were shared following her divorce from husband Alec that got her into the mainstream. Most of the attention was drawn to her looks, and she was quickly dubbed the Catwoman by the entire world. Despite being worth millions of dollars, Jocelyn has faced financial struggles over the past few years, and at one point even being sued by American Express for owing them $70,000 in credit. Her cat eyes may be trapped behind a massive layer of plastic and silicone, but they will always be the first step taken down the rocky road.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis, the Scream Queen, once spilled the beans about her plastic surgeries she did in this interview where she was frankly super honest about it. Turns out she went through a whole bunch of procedures like liposuction and Botox, but she said straight up that none of it really worked out the way she'd hoped. Even though her face didn't change drastically, you can definitely tell she's had some work done if you look closely. But despite all of that, apparently she's totally cool with aging naturally. At her age, she's still rocking it and keeping her status as the Scream Queen intact. Quite refreshing to see a celeb being real about this stuff. Jamie Lee Curtis teaches us that even with all the money and access to all these fancy procedures, things don't always turn out as planned. But at least she's still confident and embracing herself, and at the end of the day, I suppose that's what really matters. Coming up next is Blac Chyna, also known as Angela White, made some pretty big moves. She decided to undo a bunch of the plastic surgery stuff she had done before. See, she wasn't really feeling the way she looked anymore, so she got rid of all those fillers and stuff she had put in her face. Originally, she changed a lot about her face. Her cheeks, her chin, her nose, her lips, I mean, you name it. But as time went on, she started feeling like she was looking a bit plastic, I guess. Then she came clean about it, saying that she felt a bit out there and not like herself anymore. She even told her fans that going under the blade for cosmetic reasons definitely wasn't worth it. She started going back to being called Angela, her birth name, and trying to get back to her original self. She admitted that the look wasn't great and it really didn't represent who she was. Undoing all that surgery took time, but now she's on the path to getting back to her natural looking self. If you're enjoying the video so far, you could support the channel by pressing like, subscribing to be on the screen, and ringing that notification bell. Coming up next is Michael Jackson, who is definitely the most well-known name on this list. And seeing that he made a very drastic change, he spent 30 years trying to look exactly like who he wanted to be. He had over 100 facial procedures done, mostly because one of his previous doctors had totally botched his face. He had multiple nose jobs, his skin bleached, lip fixtures, and cheek enhancements. There were a few different reasons why he made the changes, one being that he wanted to resemble Diana Ross, and another reason being that he wanted to remove any sort of resemblance to his father, whom he had a deep-seated hatred for. When he started out in music, he had acne scars and felt like his nose was too big, so a few years later, he got the scarring removed and had his nose fixed up so he felt a little bit better about himself. Over the years, he got his nose done numerous amount of times, totally got rid of his natural afro, made his cheekbones higher, his lips thinner, bleached his skin, and his eyelids raised. Overall, at the end of the day, I don't think it was really worth it, as he never really reached his ideal look. Next up, you won't believe it, but Courtney Cox spilled the beans about her experience with facial fillers. Yeah, she totally went for them, hoping to keep that youthful look going strong, but it did not turn out as planned. She was really hoping to dodge that aging bullet like most of us would, I guess. But instead of getting the results she wanted, it ended up being a complete and total regret for her. So what did she do? Well, she made the bold move to dissolve all those fillers. She just wanted to feel more like her old self and go for the natural look again. Plus, she mentioned something pretty interesting. She didn't like that the fillers messed with her facial movements. Imagine not being able to move your face properly because of all that stuff you got crammed in there. Yeah. No thanks. Next up, Kim Kardashian's journey with plastic surgery was quite the roller coaster. She's been on a transformation spree, starting with her famous back end implants that were practically a shelf for a champagne bottle. Cheeks, yeah, she filled those up with some enhancers. She tinkered with her nose a whole bunch of times, and plus she went for a whole bunch of other body tweaks. But the kicker is that she's big on a skin enhancer thing that's all about filling and smoothing, making sure she's always picture perfect without a single blemish. Throw in those regular spray tans for that eternal sun-kissed look. And her contouring game used to be her thing, but enhancing those facial features like an artist, but more recently, she did a switcheroo by letting go of her Brazilian lift that she had going on, but apparently there was no surgery to undo that. She just went for the slow and steady weight loss route, letting things naturally settle back to normal. Next up is Kenny Rogers. So Kenny Rogers was aging so gracefully. He almost had this Santa Claus look going on, but you know, with the sweet features and that white beard. But then he messed all that up, deciding to tweak his cheekbones, went overboard on his eyelids, got a nose job, and ended up with this super fake tan. The result being, well, just say he didn't quite look like the Kenny Rogers we all knew and loved. I mean, some say he even resembled a, Walmart version of himself, like a bad taxidermy job gone wrong. It's kind of sad, but also a little bit funny. May he rest in peace, though. Despite all that, he left behind a legacy through his music that will always be remembered. Next up, Burt Reynolds. Yeah, remember him? He wasn't your typical Hollywood heartthrob, especially when he was younger. But hey, he aged pretty darn well, all things considered. However, as he got older, he decided to go through the surgery route to maintain his middle-aged charm. Problem was, it did not pan out. Instead of enhancing his look, it totally backfired. He ended up looking more like a fragile grandpa than ever before. He used to credit his smooth skin to his pops, but as time went on, he got fewer wrinkles when he was middle-aged. He went all in with surgeries, getting a nose job, eye lifts, oodles of all kinds of Botox, and even a full facelift. Some say his face seems like it's being held together by those surgeries because it looks so tight and stretched. Now it seems like Burt might have missed the memo about embracing the natural look, but aging gracefully isn't everyone's cup of tea, I suppose. Next up is Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers, she never truly was content with how she looked. Her daughter spilled the beans in a memoir mentioning that Joan went through 348 surgeries and a whopping 700 plus facial tweaks. Could you imagine? All that to chase a dream look that just kept slipping away. She'd crack jokes about celebs in her stand-ups, but she'd also throw shade at herself, which is a bit sad in hindsight. In 2014, during a routine throat procedure, things took a bad turn. It wasn't because she wanted more surgery, no, medical injuries snagged her life when her brain didn't get enough oxygen during that procedure. Which is super wild considering the fortune she poured into her looks. But hey, teaches us something important, that no amount of surgery can fix how you feel on the inside. Next up is Donatella Versace. Back in the day, she had these naturally full lips and a smooth skin that were envied by many. Now fast forward, and her recent appearance makes heads turn, not in a good way. Doctors took a closer look at her recent pics and spotted some telltale signs. That extra shiny skin's probably too much Botox and laser treatments trying to make things smoother. And that's not all. They suspect some bone loss in her lower jaw, hinting at possible jaw implants. Versace is a classic cautionary tale about the risks of going too far with plastic surgery. Sometimes aiming for a better look can end up making things worse. So while celebs may have all the resources for surgeries, we can't always reverse these changes. And coming up last on our list is Betty White, the amazing lady we all adore. She did something quite unexpected, getting her eyelids lifted. Now she was all about embracing natural beauty, saying that we're all born unique and beautiful in our own way. But then she went for this eyelid lift. Now at first she wasn't too sure about it, scolding herself for years about it afterwards. But as she grew older, she kind of made peace with it. She realized it didn't totally mess up her lovable face or her charm. Betty always said that everybody's got their own special kind of beauty, but sometimes even the best need a little boost, I guess. And hey, it didn't change the fact that she was still the same witty, wonderful person we all knew and loved. So yeah, even someone as awesome as Betty White can try something new and still get away with it.
So starting off our list today at number 10, we have Kim Kardashian. For years now, it seems like the Kardashian family has denied having any sort of procedures done, which is baffling because just having one look at the family, you can tell that they have definitely had a lot of work done to achieve their looks. While Kim has continued to go on and claim that she hasn't had any butt injections, she has claimed to getting cortisone shots to help her with her psoriasis. In 2022, during her cover interview with Allure, she would explain that she had a little bit of Botox done, and that's exactly what she's done to her face over the years. She then went on to deny any other procedures after she said she chilled on all the Botox lately. She then went on to claim that she's never had eyelash extensions and went on to say, "I've never done anything. I have a drop of mascara on today. I've never filled my cheeks. I've never filled my lips." But do we actually really believe her? Number 9, Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy Teigen has been pretty open about her plastic surgery when she first started to admit to her procedures back in 2017 when she told Refinery 29 that she had her armpit sucked out, and when her fat came back she had to pay for liposuction again so she could feel more confident when she wore her dresses. Then in 2019, the star would take to her Instagram to post that she would be removing her chest implants as she wanted to be able to zip into a dress size that was actually her size. And then again in 2021, the star would take to her Instagram again to share that she had the fat removed from her cheeks when she said, "I did that Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal thing here, and since I quit drinking, I'm really seeing the results." Chrissy then went on to point to the area of her cheek where the procedure had been done before adding in her caption that she had no shame in her Dr. Diamond game. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming at number 8, we have Khloe Kardashian. I don't think any of us really thought Khloe would admit to some of the procedures she had done on her face, as we thought she was just going to conceal the truth about her work like the rest of the family seems to do. However, during an episode on Keeping Up with the Kardashian series finale reunion, the star would admit to her procedures when she said, "For me, everyone says, oh my gosh, she had her 3rd face transplant. But I've had one nose job and everyone gets so upset like, why don't I talk about it? No one's ever asked me." On her talk show Cocktails with Khloe, the star also admitted to having facial fillers dissolved when she said, "My face was so effed, I had to go and get this whole thing dissolved. It was a bummer and now I'm afraid to do it again. I'm also almost like I swear things are still in my face," which is honestly probably true, as once you alter your face, you can't go back to what you used to look like before. Number 7. Ashley Tisdale. Have you ever noticed that Ashley Tisdale's face altered around the time she was working on the hit show Sweet Life of Zack and Cody? Well, later on in Ashley's career, after the rumors started to circulate around the star altering her nose, she would admit that she did have a nose job done in 2007 to fix a deviated septum. When she told people, "I didn't do this because I believe in plastic surgery, I did this to help my health. I literally almost could not breathe out of my right nostril. I want my fans to know the truth. I'm not someone who is going to act like I have done nothing. I just want to be honest with my fans who are everything to me." And while Ashley did choose to admit that she had surgery done, she's not like most celebrities on this list today because she chose to have the cosmetic procedures done to help her health and not to improve her overall look. Number 6. Bella Hadid. In her 2022 Vogue cover story, Bella Hadid would share that she regretted having her nose altered when she was just 14 years old, when she said, "I wish I would have kept the nose of my ancestors. I think I would have grown into it." She also went on to add that her nose job was the only procedure she has ever gotten done, and she went on to say, "People think I fully effed my face because of one picture of me as a teenager looking puffy. I'm sure you don't look the same now as you did when you're 13, right? I've never used filler. Let's just put an end to that. I have no issue with it, but it's not for me." Instead, she went on to state that her lifted appearance is the result of an illusion when she said, "Whoever thinks I've gotten my eyes lifted or whatever, it's called face tape, the oldest trick in the book." However, while the star has admitted to her nose job, it's only a matter of time before she comes out to reveal that she also had buccal fat removal, as her cheeks are looking hella sculpted lately. Number 5. Joe Jonas. You think being one of the best looking men in Hollywood, Joe Jonas would have never done anything to his face, but then think again, as the star has had help from injectables over the years to help combat signs of getting older. As he once told people, we're all getting older, and part of it is being comfortable in our own skin. Around this time, Joe was also becoming a brand partner for Exomin, which is an anti-wrinkle injectable that temporarily improves the appearance of frown lines using a double filtered formula. Joe would also go on to admit he not only uses this treatment for his frown lines, but he also uses it to smooth out a scar he has between his eyebrows, before noting that his procedure has never been over the top and that he kept things pretty light so you couldn't really tell that he has had work done. Joe actually only chose to come out about his cosmetic treatments so he can encourage other men to feel comfortable doing the same thing, as he doesn't find it such a big deal, and he would also state that we should all feel confident about how we look. Number 4. Courtney Cox. At one point in time, we all noticed that there was just something different about Courtney Cox, and while a lot of people just couldn't wrap their finger around it and what was different with her, some of the star's fans then started to accuse the star of having work done. While Courtney was silent for years about her cosmetic procedures, in 2017 she would finally admit to having cosmetic surgeries when she said, "I've had all my fillers dissolved. I'm as natural as I can be. I feel better because I look myself. I think that I now look like the person that I was." Yes, I hope I do. Things are going to change. Everything's going to drop. I was trying to make it not drop, but that made my face look fake. You need movement in your face, especially if you have thin skin like I do. Those aren't wrinkles, they're smile lines. I've had to learn how to embrace movement and realize that fillers are not my friend, but honestly, fillers seem to be no one's friend. So it's surprising to see so many celebrities entering into the trend to get them. Number 3, Marc Jacobs. Back in 2021, Marc Jacobs would cause quite the public stir on Instagram after he uploaded a selfie of himself post-operation that showcased his head wrapped in bandages. The celebrity would then open up about his $50,000 facelift and his decision to publicly reveal he had gone under surgery while saying there was no shame in being vain. The designer has been sharing candid photos of his post-operative recovery on his personal Instagram account since. The celebrity plastic surgeon Andrew Giacono performed his deep plane facelift on July 20th, 2021. Marc would then open up about his procedure with Vogue when he told the media outlet, "I've got some scars around my ears and my face is swollen. I have a bruised neck. I'm still posting on Instagram. I don't care. I don't even see it as an effort to be transparent. I'm doing what I normally do, which is living my life and sharing it with anybody who is interested." Marc would then point out that he's been pretty honest about his changing appearance for decades, and he'll continue to do so as he gets more procedures done. Number 2, Tori Spelling. Back in 2021, Tori Spelling would address her expired and recalled chest implants when the actress posted a photo of herself at a plastic surgeon's office that year on November 19th. In the caption of the photo, she would say, "After needing to for many years, I'm finally addressing my expired and recalled implants. Thanks for squeezing me in. Dr. Plastic Surgery. Great consult. I adore you already." Beforehand, Tori had already previously shared that her implants had expired during an October episode, Wind Down with Jana Kramer. And when Tori was asked if she wanted to have new implants done, the Beverly Hills 90210 actor would say she did, before noting, "See, no one told me when I got that done. In 10 years, you would have to get them redone." Beforehand, in 2019, Tori did address all the rumors around her changed appearance when she told people, "The one thing that stuck with me forever was the plastic surgery thing. I literally had my nose done and my chest done. That's it. I'm constantly reading that I've done more." While the star has been under speculation for more procedures since she was at the age of 19, it seems like most celebrities can shake the rumors, but Tori's plastic surgery rumors have stuck with her throughout her entire career. And coming in at number 1 today, we have Reed Ewing. Reed Ewing once opened up about how he had a nightmare of a time struggling with body dysmorphia and the resulting horrors he faced when he attempted to use plastic surgery to fix it. When the actor, who is best known for playing Dylan on Modern Family, penned an essay for the Huffington Post, he would give shocking details about how he had a pretty difficult time in his life dealing with body dysmorphic disorder. So if you don't know what body dysmorphic disorder is, it's a mental illness in which a person obsesses over the way he or she looks, thinking about their real or perceived flaws for hours each day. And for Reed, he spent years analyzing every single feature, to the point he had to make his first appointment to meet with a cosmetic surgeon when he was only 19 years old. Though he describes the doctor as being curt and uninterested in his worries, nevertheless, he decided to undergo the surgery to get a large cheek implant. After getting the surgery done, Reed would face more problems, as he had to hide his face from the public to hide his disordered appearance post-surgery. It also didn't help when he woke up from the surgery, all the doctor and his staff could do was laugh at the actor's appearance.
Number 10, Zac Efron. Zachary David Alexander Efron rose to Disney fame when he starred as Troy Bolton in the classic High School Musical movies. He played the basketball player turned theater kid, and for some reason, that's a big deal to everyone. I don't get it. He was a theater kid. I've literally had 2 basketball players pretend to be a seesaw and hoist me into the air during a show. Bless their hearts, I was and still am pretty heavy for that kind of shenanigans. He went on to have an extremely successful career, and while the films haven't always been the most lucrative, Zac himself has been a consistently solid performer, from Charlie St. Cloud to his most recent movie Gold and his upcoming movie Iron Claw. One thing that hasn't been consistent though is his face. In 2013, Zac was running through his house when he slipped in his socks and hit his chin on a granite fountain. Hey, we've all been there. According to Zac, his chin bone was hanging off face and he had to have his mouth wired shut and had been undergoing physical therapy right up until 2019. Many fans noticed Zac's face getting a little bit puffy recently, not really in like a bad way, just in a way that made him look look a little more unrecognizable compared to his High School Musical days. He addressed rumors of him undergoing surgery and explained that it was the result of breaking one of the original rules of parenthood: don't run in the house. Most recently, he changed up his look for his role in the highly anticipated biopic The Iron Claw, set to release very soon. For this role, Efron bulked up significantly, now making the rest of him look like he was stung by a hornet, and is sporting a haircut reminiscent of Friar Tuck in Robin Hood. Hopefully the movie will be so good it's worth that haircut. Very excited to see it, it looks so good. Number 9, Moises Arias. A former Hannah Montana star, Moises is probably best known as the youngest entrepreneur and biggest troublemaker on the beach, Rico. His character on the show was always getting sucked into the family's problems. He delivered some iconic moments that are most of the reason that show still holds up to this day. There is a good chance that you have seen this man in recent Hollywood flicks, but you probably just didn't realize who he was. Since leaving the Disney World behind, Arias has been a part of several indie films that received stellar reviews, like the coming-of-age story Kings of Summer, where he played Biagio. Most recently, though, he starred alongside SNL alumni Pete Davidson in a film based on the comedian's early life called King of Staten Island, sporting a goatee and tattoos everywhere. It must be in Moises' contract that he exclusively works in films with King in the title, because he's one himself. Number 8, Amanda Bynes. Amanda got her lucky break on the Nickelodeon sketch series All That, which was just Saturday Night Live for kids, and it sported a stellar cast, including current SNL cast member Kenan Thompson, Drake Bell, and Lori Beth Denberg. Eventually, the producers decided to offer Amanda her own show, and her success only grew from there. The Amanda Bynes Show was one of the best Nickelodeon shows ever, and she was picked up by several studios to star in non-Nickelodeon projects like She's the Man and Easy A. Amanda took a hiatus, however, in 2013 following a very public mental breakdown. In 2018, she told fans exactly what caused it, and according to Amanda, she became addicted to the devil's lettuce at a young age. And while it wasn't an addiction at first, with more roles came more pressure and a need to find a new way to cope. This eventually led her to more drastic substances. She also believed that she wasn't pretty enough anymore to be in films, even taking Adderall as a way to help her stay skinny. In 2013, Amanda posted a series of bizarre tweets where she seemed to be insulting everyone that she could think of. She called the former president, Barack Obama, ugly, clearly referencing a character from The Amanda Show, but still, no, he's not. She was arrested and placed under psychiatric hold as she was accused of several hit-and-run incidents and was officially charged with reckless endangerment and criminal possession of herbs and spices. Her parents then placed her under a conservatorship till 2022 when she stood in front of a judge. Now she is healthier and better than ever and ready to move on with her life. The judge said, "Alright, Amanda is free to live. Good luck, Amanda." There is a million kids who grew up with her, so I hope she's doing great and we've all got her back. Number 7, Macaulay Culkin. Culkin broke our hearts when he made his first on-screen appearance as little Thomas in the movie My Girl, and he continued to entertain us over the next few years, being a part of movies like Home Alone and Richie Rich, some of my childhood favorites. His career seemed to be on an upward climb, ensuring that he would have work well into his adult years, but it turns out life had other plans for Macaulay. Between the years of 2013 to 2019, Culkin had remained fairly reserved in the Hollywood eye, appearing only in low-budget passion projects or straight-to-video film. It might have been because the once young and fresh Culkin was now in his early 20s and he wasn't playing by the rules. A mugshot of Culkin made headlines in 2004 when he was arrested for possession of a controlled substance without a prescription following a routine inspection of his car. Rumors of Culkin's substance issues arose as the actor was later seen appearing frail, like he hadn't eaten weeks, and many were concerned for Culkin's health, but he later revealed in an interview in 2021 that he had finally gotten a hold of his issues and he was on track to recovery. In fact, just a few weeks ago, he celebrated a milestone in both his personal life and Hollywood career because he got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and was honored by Catherine O'Hara, who played his mom in Home Alone, and of course his wife, Brenda Song, aka London Tipton, and their son. Number 6, Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay is a Disney star who actually never appeared in a sitcom or TV show. She just went straight to the movies, baby. She starred in over 60 TV spots and commercials for brands like Gap, Pizza Hut, and Jell-O before she got her big break when Disney casted her to play 2 roles in the classic family movie The Parent Trap. She played twin sisters Hallie Parker and Annie James. They randomly meet at a summer camp and discover their parents split them up when they were babies. It's such a good movie. The twins hatch a plot to get mom and dad back together. It's delightful. Her career only seemed to rise from there, starring in cult classics like Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis and of course Mean Girls as Katie Heron. Unfortunately, her career took a step in the wrong direction when she was arrested in 2007 for driving driving under the influence of a controlled substance, for which she only served 84 minutes in jail. Because she's Lindsay Lohan, let's give her less than 2 hours, that makes sense. Until 2022, her career was at an abrupt standstill, and Lindsay decided to take that time to make some cosmetic adjustments. She got some work done to herself, and that Lindsay Lohan we grew up with is now trapped behind a thin layer of silicone and makeup. Number 5, Madonna. Madonna has surely gotten stuck in your head before with classic hits like Material Girls and Crazy for You still being played at dance clubs worldwide. What may have also gotten stuck in your head was just how gorgeous this woman was. In the 80s, Madonna was well known for her stylish duds and big blonde hair, at times almost channeling Marilyn Monroe energy. It was unfortunate then that Madonna felt the need to fall into the world of plastic surgery and injections as she got older. Photo comparisons from the 80s to now showcase the major changes, with her forehead appearing to be pushed out, as well as her cheeks and her lips being filled with enough Botox to give her the appearance of someone wearing a silicone mask of Madonna over their own face. We can only imagine what she may have looked like had she not undergone any surgery. Would she still be a material girl, or would that material be ridden with coffee stains and moth holes? Who knows? Number 4, Cher. Ever since rising to fame in the 1960s and 70s, Cher has been absolutely slaying it in the world of pop music, rocking her own solo career and collaborating with several musicians over the years. Her style and voice will definitely not be a stranger to you, unless of course you've seen her lately. Now, do not get me wrong, Cher is absolutely stunning and has put in a lot of work to stay healthy and happy in her personal life, but over the years she has been open about the numerous amounts of surgeries that she's had to have done, including lip fillers and receiving Botox in her cheeks, leaving her in a constant state of, oh that's nice. Despite having a negative experience with her surgeries, reportedly even receiving a certain augmentation that went horribly wrong, she still continues to undergo procedures to this day. For all we know, she could be doing it right now. Number 3, David Krumholtz. David's face may be familiar to many people because he was Bernard the Elf from the Santa Claus franchise. David has been acting for a long time, making appearances over the years in shows like Freaks and Geeks and Mom, but he's also familiar to many people for his more raunchy performances in movies like Harold and Kumar, as well as several collaborations with Seth Rogen. In his youth, Krumholtz was often typecasted as the young, squishy-faced good guy with a little bit of a bad boy streak. Unfortunately, as time went on, the actor appeared to be struggling with his weight, appearing to gain and lose weight rapidly. For example, in the HBO series The Deuce, David plays a character named Harvey Wasserman, who in season 1 weighed around 300 pounds, but in season 2, he barely weighed 100. This constant back and forth shift cannot be healthy, and it seems like in recent photos, it has been taking a toll on The Deuce. Number 2, Shia LaBeouf. Shia has been a controversial celebrity over the years, becoming famous as one of the hardest people to work with in Hollywood history. Like many bad apples in LA, Shia got his start on the Disney Channel. At the turn of the century, Disney released a little show called The Even Stevens. The series followed the titular Stevens family with a focus on the kids Ren and Louis, played by Christy Romano and Shia LaBeouf. The show is considered to be one of Disney's best. It spanned over 3 seasons and spawned an Even Stevens movie that, I'm not exaggerating, is one of the greatest pieces of cinema ever released. Go check it out. These days, Shia has adopted a more mountain man look. He always sprouts a big bushy beard when he can, and he went from bright and youthful to just tired and annoyed. Hey man, we get that. Following the show's end, Shia kept his acting career going strong, appearing in movies like Holes as the main character Stanley Yelnats, but it wasn't until his casting in Transformers that things started to go downhill. Since 2007, Shia's behavior as an actor and a person has been getting worse and worse. His fellow actors have reported that he takes method acting too far. For instance, in the film Fury, he was a soldier trapped inside a military tank with his crew. The film was set in Germany in April of 1945. Of course, they didn't have access to plumbing or any kind of bathrooms really at that time, so Shia decided not to bathe for the entire time they were on set. 3 months, fellow cast had to sit in a cramped tank with this man smelling nothing but Shia. Number 1, Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer made his name a staple when he starred in the beloved classic fantasy film Willow as Mad Mardigan, a swordsman who spends the movie protecting the titular baby from evil forces. Now, personally, he made a staple in my head, being the Batman that beat up Jim Carrey, but that's a whole other thing. Over the years, Kilmer has aged gracefully, being the leading man type over and over again, seemingly casted because of his looks over his acting chops, with a lot of people consider him to be stiff. Well, a lot like people like Mickey Rourke, Kilmer's roles began to shift from leading strong type to the dark and silent bad guy. I mean, just look at his headshots. He looks like an evil scientist trying to invite you into his mansion to show you his collection of animal skulls. Honestly, I'd see that movie. Number 10. Mia Jovovich. The action star, best known for her role as Alice in the much debated Resident Evil series, is arguably one of the most gorgeous zombie slayers of all time. First stunning audiences with her beauty in the film The Fifth Element as Lilu, who it turns out, spoiler alert, is the Fifth Element. Mind blown. The image of a bright orange-haired alien beauty has been burned into the memory of anyone who has seen that movie, which is why it's quite jarring to see her on the street nowadays. A photo was recently captured by paparazzi showing Mia with a punk rock buzz cut and cut jean shorts. Now while this may just be a temporary hairstyle, this is far from the Mia that we're used to seeing on screen. I mean, look at that. It looks like she saw someone mowing their lawn and was like, hey, could you take a little off the top, please? We hope that as time goes on, Mia will regress back into her Lilu days. Lilu. Number 9. Zac Efron. The former Disney Channel star has been considered a Hollywood hottie for most of his career, starring in many films like Neighbors, Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates, and even trying his hand at more serious roles with movies like Charlie St. Cloud and Gold. While Zac was aging gracefully for the most part, many fans started speculating that he may have received some kind of facial reconstructive surgery following an appearance on Bill Nye's Earth Day musical on Facebook, where fans claimed that he looked like he had just been stung by a bee or something. Well, after a year of speculation, it turned out that there was some truth to that theory. You see, he hadn't undergone surgery. In fact, the actor's facial differences were due to a jaw injury he had sustained in 2013. Zac broke his jaw and had to have his mouth wired shut after he was running through his house with socks on, slipped, and went face first into a granite fountain. Hey man, we've all been there. Apparently, he had been undergoing physical therapy for the incident for quite some time, but had recently stopped going, which caused his face to kind of puff up. This doesn't help the situation, however, as Efron was recently spotted on set for a new biographical film called The Iron Claw, in which he plays the titular wrestler. For this role, Efron bulked up significantly, now making the rest of him look like he was stung by a hornet, and is sporting a haircut reminiscent of Friar Tuck in Robin Hood. Hopefully the movie will be so good that it's worth that bowl cut. Number 8. Madonna. Madonna has surely gotten stuck in your head before, with classic radio hits like Material Girls and Crazy for You still being played at dance clubs worldwide. Now what may have also gotten stuck in your head was just how gorgeous this woman once was. In the 80s, Madonna was well known for her stylish duds and big blonde hair, at times almost channeling Marilyn Monroe's energy. It was unfortunate then that Madonna felt the need to fall into the world of plastic surgery and injections as she got older. Photo comparisons from the 80s to now showcase these major changes, with her forehead appearing to be pushed out as well as her cheeks and her lips being filled with enough Botox to give her the appearance of someone wearing a silicone mask of Madonna over their own face. We can only imagine what she may have looked like if she had not gone to surgery, but would she still be a material girl, or would that material be moth-ridden and covered in coffee stains? Who knows? Number 7. Macaulay Culkin. Culkin broke our hearts when he made his first on-screen appearance as Little Thomas in the movie My Girl, and he continued to entertain us over the next few years, being a part of blockbuster hits like the Home Alone franchise and Richie Rich. His career seemed to be on an upward climb, ensuring that he would have work well into his adult years, but it turns out that life had other plans for Macaulay. Between the years of 2003 to 2019, Culkin had remained fairly reserved in the Hollywood eye, only appearing in a few low-budget passion projects or straight-to-video films. It may have been because the once young and fresh Culkin was now in his early 20s and he was not playing by the rules. A mugshot of Culkin made headlines in 2004 when he was arrested for possessions of a controlled substance without a prescription, following a routine inspection of his vehicle. Rumors of Culkin's substance issues arose as the actor was later seen appearing frail and as if he hadn't eaten in weeks. Many people were concerned for Culkin's health, but he later revealed in an interview in 2021 that he'd finally gotten a hold of his issues and he was on track to recovery and looking much better. Right on, Lil Mac. Number 6. Mickey Rourke. The big man, Mickey Rourke, has been a prolific actor for quite some time, making his major motion debut in the 1986 romantic drama 9.5 Weeks Later as John Gray, a Wall Street trader who falls for an art gallery assistant and escalates that situation very quickly. Back in the day, he was cast as the handsome leading man or heartthrob for the most part, but since receiving massive amounts of plastic surgery and lip fillers in the early 2000s, he looks more like a clay model of his former self, admitting in 2017 2017 that his ever-changing face was due to botched surgeries conducted to mend his boxing scars. I don't know much about boxing and I no longer intend to. He's since appeared in such blockbuster hits like Iron Man 2 as the villain Whiplash and Sin City as a scarred-up trenchcoat-wearing bad boy named Marv. So it's far from the soft-faced Mickey that your parents once probably had a poster of on their wall. I didn't. What? Stop talking. Next, number 5, Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer made his name a staple when he starred in the beloved classic fantasy film Willow as Mad Mardigan, a swordsman who spends the movie protecting the titular baby from evil forces. Personally, he made a staple in my head as being the Batman that beat up Jim Carrey, but we won't get into that. Over the years, Kilmer has aged gracefully, being the leading man type over and over again, seemingly casted because of his looks over his acting chops, which many consider to be stiff. Well, much like Mickey Rourke, Kilmer's roles began to shift from leading strong type to the dark and silent bad guy. I mean, just look at this headshot. He looks like an evil scientist trying to invite you into his mansion to show you his collection of animal skulls. Honestly, I think I'd watch that movie. Number 4, Cher. Ever since rising to fame in the 1960s, Cher has been absolutely slaying it in the world of pop music, rocking her own solo career and collaborating with several musicians over the years. Her style and voice will definitely not be a stranger to you, unless of course you've seen her lately. Now, don't get me wrong, she's absolutely stunning and has put in a lot of work to stay healthy and happy in her personal life, but over the years, Cher has been open about having numerous amounts of surgeries done, including lip fillers, receiving Botox in her cheeks, leaving her in a constant state of, really? Despite having negative experiences with her surgeries, reportedly even receiving a certain augmentation that went horribly wrong, she still continues to undergo the knife to this day. For all we know, she might be under right now. Whoa. Number 3, Celine Dion. Celine Dion is just one of many Canadian treasures that have been unleashed on this world. Growing up in Charlemagne, Quebec, Dion began performing at a very young age and quickly garnered international fame for her incredible voice and her larger-than-life performance style. With legendary hits like My Heart Will Go On from the film Titanic and the song Beauty and the Beast from Beauty and the Beast, Celine is sure to have been rattling around in your head at least a few times over the years. Unfortunately, the once youthful and larger-than-life performer has not aged well over the years. While she has never received plastic surgery of any kind, you go girl, the latest photos show Celine appearing to be void of any body fat whatsoever, causing her to appear almost skeletal sometimes. We hope that this is simply a case of age ruling its ugly head and not something more serious. Good luck, Celine. Number 2, David Krumholtz. David's face may be familiar to many of you as Bernard the Elf from the Santa Claus franchise. David has been acting for quite some time though, making appearances over the years in shows like Freaks and Geeks and Mom. He's also familiar to many for his more raunchy performances, working in films like Harold and Kumar as well as several collaborations with Seth Rogen. In his youth, Krumholtz was often typecast as the young, squishy-faced good guy with a little bit of a bad boy streak. Unfortunately, as time went on, the actor appeared to be struggling with his weight, appearing to gain and lose it very rapidly. For example, in the HBO series The Deuce, David plays a character named Harvey Wasserman, who in season 1 weighed just over 300 pounds, but when he appeared in season 2's premiere, he weighed just barely 100 pounds. Now this constant back and forth shift cannot be healthy for anybody. As seen in recent photos, it looks like this back and forth is seriously starting to take a toll on the Deuce. Number 1, Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe is the Gladiator Maximus to many people, a role that he portrayed in the 2000 film Gladiator. It was a commanding and brutal performance from Crowe, astonishing crowds worldwide and creating a massive buzz for what this man might do next. In Gladiator, Crowe was tough and built like a brick house. As time went on, those bricks seemed to be turning into rubble, because Crowe began appearing more and more with what we can only describe as the daddest of bods, growing a big lumberjack beard and gut to go with it. This change was emphasized in Thor Love and Thunder, released in 2022, when Crowe played the god Zeus, and instead of appearing as he does in lore as a massive, muscular lightning god, he just looks like someone's dad dressed up for a frat party that he was not invited to.
And at number 10, Faith Hill. Faith Hill recently graced the cover of People magazine with her husband Tim McGraw, and fans were shocked at her unrecognizable appearance. Some fans are even convinced that there's no way that it's Faith in the photo. She has light brown curly hair in the photo and seemingly a heavily edited face. Users in the comment section of the post are all shocked over the photo, with fans saying things like, quote, "Find Faith, because that can't be her." Another said, quote, "That's not Faith, there's no way." But other fans came to Faith's defense, saying that nothing had changed and she was just getting older. Some even complimented
to the fact that she's embracing her natural curls. One fan clapped back at the haters, saying, quote, "For everyone saying she's had work done, she hasn't. It's her darker natural hair she's embracing, and if you zoom in you can see her wrinkles. They edited her a bit too much, but sorry to disappoint, Faith has had zero work done, she's a natural beauty." And at number 9, Sarah Hyland. Sarah Hyland is known for changing her look on a whim, and has made several dramatic changes to her hair in the last year, and it looks like she decided to close out the year with a bang, and she debuted a new hairstyle at the 2021 People's Choice Awards on December 7th. The first big change with her hair happened back in February when she transformed into a redhead. Then in June she started wearing her hair curled due to curly hair extensions. And now in December she's gone back to brunette and wearing blunt bangs along with the bob haircut. She debuted the look on Instagram, calling the look a quote version of a Bixie, which is a mix between a bob and a pixie haircut. And at number 8, Chrishell Stause. Chrishell Stause has been known for her long blonde locks since she graced our screens on Selling Sunset, but at the 2021 People's Choice Awards she shocked the world when she debuted dark brown hair. Chrishell wore a plunging red gown by Italian designer Genny, which was a perfect complement to her new look. Chrishell has been seen out with her new boyfriend and boss Jason Oppenheim as of late, but walked the PCA red carpet solo. The two made their relationship Instagram official earlier this year. Jason said, quote, "Chrishell and I became close friends and has developed into an amazing relationship. I care about her deeply and we are very, very happy together." Chrishell also revealed that the ladies of Selling Sunset had wrapped filming the 5th season of the hit Netflix show, so we might be seeing her new hair on TV very soon. And at number 7, Jade Klein. Teen Mom star Jade Klein just showed off her new eyelash extensions, and fans were shocked to see how different she looked following multiple plastic surgery procedures that she underwent earlier this year. Klein has been proudly showcasing her new appearance on social media. She revealed that her transformation included having fat transferred into her breasts, while also having a Brazilian butt lift and liposuction as part of the transformation. Jade opened up about her quote boob job back in May and told fans, quote, "No implants, just some fat transferred," saying that they were the same cup size as before, just fuller. She also shared her painful recovery after her Brazilian butt lift procedure, admitting it was worse than she expected. She said during a podcast, quote, "I saw so many people I knew that were having BBLs, and I was so impressed and astonished at the shapes of their bodies." She revealed it was 10 times worse than childbirth. The upcoming season of the show is set to showcase her dramatic transformation. And at number 6, Tilda Swinton. One of the most dramatic transformation an actors ever made for a role has to be Tilda Swinton in Suspiria, as the actress transformed into a man to play 82-year-old therapist Joseph Klemperer. Tilda revealed that she wore heavy prosthetics to play the role, and they started creating the prosthetics 18 months before they started filming. Tilda even requested fake male genitalia to go along with her costume just to ensure she was able to get into character fully. Her role as Dr. Klemperer is kept under wraps during filming, with the production maintaining the role was played by newcomer Lutz Ebersdorf. At the time, she rejected answering questions about the role until she spoke with the New York Times recently and revealed she was playing the lead role as a man. Halfway at number 5, Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill is currently filming his latest project with Martin Scorsese, a Grateful Dead biopic where Jonah Hill is playing Jerry Garcia, the iconic 60s guitarist. New images have leaked from the set, showing Jonah looking very different than his usual self. He looked practically unrecognizable with a bushy beard and slicked back shoulder-length hair. Garcia was known for his mane of dark, unruly hair and matching beard, and it seems that Hill has nailed the look. Jonah Hill is not only acting in the movie, he is also a producer on the film. The film doesn't have a release date as of now, but it's being produced by Apple. This is not the only big change that Jonah has made this year. He dyed his hair bleach blonde in February and was rocking a surfer aesthetic before the big change for the film. And at number 4, Geena Davis. The 65-year-old actress is known for her roles in classic movies like Beetlejuice and A League of Their Own, where she was known as the bombshell lead. But she was recently seen out in November of this year and does not look like she's aged gracefully. She was spotted walking outside in LA, wearing a scarf wrapped around her head and walking in the streets barefoot. This was not the only time she was seen out and looking bizarre. She was seen out walking another time, also barefoot, while on the street. Public outings are not common for Davis these days. The last time she was seen out was when she celebrated the 30th anniversary of the 1991 classic film Thelma and Louise with Susan Sarandon. And at number 3, Jada Pinkett Smith. Jada Pinkett Smith looked unrecognizable, continuing her role as Niobe in the 4th film. The movie, directed by Lana Wachowski, is set to release in theaters and on HBO Max later this month, and Pinkett Smith is acting alongside Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss. In the trailer, Jada looks completely unrecognizable. The makeup and prosthetics she wore while filming make her appear much older and totally different than how we recognize her. When recollecting her experience filming the franchise, she said, quote, "It's so easy to forget how much noise the Matrix pumps into your head. Something else makes the same kind of noise, war. Pinkett Smith starred in the second and third films in the series, The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions, as a Zion Rebel fighter. In at number 2, Demi Moore. Demi Moore shocked fans when she stepped out to attend the 2021 Fashion Awards in London. She attended the awards wearing a posh off-the-shoulder gown with leather gloves and a black cape. Her hair and makeup was simple, but it was her appearance that got people talking. Over time, it seems that her face has gone from angular to round, and she's done a number of facial smoothing treatments because there's no trace of a wrinkle on her face. Her face also has an unnatural appearance with a jarring contour line from her ears to her lips, creating incredibly defined cheekbones. But her new cheekbones are making her face look puffy and unnatural. And finally at number 1, Lara Flynn Boyle. Actress Lara Flynn Boyle was spotted out and about in Laguna Beach for a rare outing in November and looked completely unrecognizable from her former bombshell self. She was out running errands while her friends walked their dogs by the beach. She was dressed casually, wearing oversized sweats and a flannel button-up, presumably trying to remain anonymous. She's dealt with rumors that she's changed her face for years with plastic surgery, as it's undeniable that she looks nothing like her former self. While she was out, she was wearing sunglasses that partially shielded her face, but it was clear she looked unnatural and puffy.